Welcome to OWAD today. I'm Sophia, piloting to the Universe of Chinese. Let's cover the last one of this season. That's Neolithic. So qin is a general term to anybody who is dear to you. And of course, for agrarian society, qin would be your blood lineage who share your last name. And eventually it got extended into whoever comes from your same town, same village. As we say here, 乡亲 means village loved. So loved ones from your same village, your homie, so to speak. And then 乡亲 is you're going to assess who are you going to love. Okay. Anyways, it's a qin. Here, finally, we see three versions of this character. That means this character went through quite some evolution through time. And it's kind of a general term. So instead of the role specific terms as we covered of son-in-laws, daughter-in-laws, mother-in-laws, brother-in-laws, all that in-law type of relationship, that this qin is more general term and how we express that generic blood tie, starting with blood tie relationship. Okay, so this is simplified Chinese. Traditional, we have this human C character still preserved there. And 2000 years ago's dictionary is even more complicated. We have human C next to it. And then we have the left side that's retained over time and got simplified, and definitely some strokes are missing from this character that's supposed to be like show or something like that. I don't even know because it's not no longer this intricate way of writing out as such is no longer in use. So the best guess I have is that the top portion. So at the bottom, let's see. Let's unpack it. The bottom version is easy to understand. That's the wood or tree symbol. That's something, some plant. We have the above the ground portion, below the ground portion, connected by the trunk or stalk. So it's a plant symbol at the bottom or a wood. Then the top, the remaining part of the top, two horizontal lines. So two horizontal lines almost give us this outer boundary of our existence. It's heaven and earth. We exist in between. And then we have this pointer thing going down, almost like a needle going down, and then it kind of connected and continued through this tree icon. This vertical line over there is some force from supposedly above us, some external force, some force, nature force that's beyond our, like it's not man-made force, okay, natural forces on us and heading down, and we have a little bit kind of a resistance, but it's it's a force we want to fight, but it didn't hold up to the force that's beyond us, out of our control, and eventually it puncture through this horizontal line. It's like it's puncture through it. So there is this external force pointing down toward us. In other characters, in other contexts that I met this icon, that's related to corporal punishment. So it could be this needle thing puncture through, like something go under your skin. So it's as a pain inflicting mechanism in ancient times that could be used to describe such. And it could also be used to describe a certain phase of nature that this puncturing thing is the nature's ripening season when the yin and yang are going to have this transform. This yang force is going down below the earth when the warmth of this, the energy, the sun's energy going to shift. That you're going to have the full year's crops already done, and then you have this warmth going underground. So, I mean, ancient times people perceive things differently, right? They don't know this, sun and earth circulation, rotational thing. So the understanding back then would be the warmth, the yang energy going to be buried, hidden underground. So that's why this the kind of pointing downward. And that's when this kind of a spicy smell after the harvest that they're going to smell. And that's associated with this change of a season, change of renewal. So it's going to be after this painful or spicy flavor in the air after the change of season, you're going to have something renewal. So we have the concept of new related to this character. So this character was something of related to puncturing, to going through a certain change. And now my interpretation, well, one of ChatGPT's theory is this penetrating or puncturing through paired with a word would be implied ancestral tablet. So as we know, Chinese are ancestral worship culture, and the ancestrals' names, once they passed away, they're going to be engraved on this wood tablets. And so this wood symbolizes such tablets, and this puncturing through is going to be this engraving process. And together, it means something, some dear ones, your ancestors pass away, and that symbolizes on this tablet. Once one name is on that tablet, it means somebody's dead. I recently went to a Chinese movie, and at the end of the movie, it's called Creation of Gods, a big name. Then like thousands of TV crew or whoever made this media, ton of people. So, Chinese people's contemporaries, their name are mostly made of two characters or three characters, right? So it's easy if it's two character, we just space out in the middle. So everything is a rectangular. You see the tablets of three or two characters grouping together. That means one person's name in different roles or capacities to make this movie. And then occasionally you see a box go around that person's name. That means somebody passed away. So I think that came from this tradition of once a person passed away, we are going to engrave that person's name on this wooden tablet. It's a kind of a put it in a box and it's gone. It's no longer alive. So that's associated with that. And then the human seed would be your eyeball. You are going to see your relatives, your family passed away in that tablet form. So that's one way to define whoever. Okay, so basically you're the inheritor of their genes, and whoever have gone before you, those are the people you regard as dear, as your relative, as your family. So whoever you share blood with, those are the qin. And the second explainer would be this corporal punishment, this puncturing through under your skin. If this character came from that era, then that related pair with the word would be some type of corporal punishment, some type of imprisonment that behind bars in ancient times would most likely be wooden bars, behind the wooden bars, and then there is this corporal punishment conducted behind those wooden bars. So these two pair together is related to imprisonment. And a human eyeball see would be you go visit your loved ones when they are in prison. And I would imagine from that perspective, or another version of how to make sense of this character, is that only true loved ones, even if your family, whoever broke the law, and you are still going to maintain that blood relationship by visiting them. So by visiting imprisoned, that shows that that person is dear enough for you, even if by law is taken away the freedom temporarily, or I don't know however term is, but to you, that person is still dear to you. So by this behavior of visiting the imprisoned, it testify to this love transcend this, whatever legal law abiding or not status. Okay, two versions, your pick, because we don't have a definitive explainer of that. Okay, this is loved, generic term, and in Xiangqin, so it's loved from your village. That means your people from your hometown. It's most likely not in your family, but in your village. So that's how Chinese create this sense. Is you're from the same place, and that's xiangqin. Another xiangqin, exactly same pronunciation, but except that the first xiang is not a noun. It's not like people loved ones from the same village. This xiang is a action word that's assess. That means you have eyeball again here, look this and this look the same, right? And then we have wood symbol here, this and this is the same. So eyeball looking at a tree is assessment. That's the initial function of how when we're assessing whether it's edible or not. It's an important task back in the hunter-gatherer society's time. So when you assess if that person is going to become a loved one, that's how Chinese are saying go on a date. When you go on a date, you're literally assessing each other if you're going to pair off well. So that Chinese make it a purpose and orientation, action orientation, and a goal setting exactly explicitly in this expression that 相亲 means you're going to literally assess each other. All right, 亲力亲为 here change. So instead of talking about somebody else dear to you, either through bloodline or sharing the same geography from the same town, here this 亲 actually means you yourself. I mean, you cannot be any dearer with another person than with yourself, right? The dearest relationship is with yourself. So here, this 亲 actually means you yourself. I mean, if you're in prison, you're going to be visiting yourself every day, right? So that's how close you are with yourself. So this 亲 then converts into this personally, like me, myself. And 亲力亲为 became this set expression to say, especially somebody who is in a leadership role who can delegate whatever task to people under him. But I mean, I use this gender biased. Most likely, this leadership role is a guy, okay, in China. And 亲力亲为 means this person actually, instead of delegating, is doing this on their own. And this 亲力亲为 became this almost like a sarcastic expression that during COVID-19 years, there is such an expression by President Xi himself saying 亲自部署, 亲自指挥. It's saying I'm personally taking charge of this, combating COVID-19 situation. I'm 亲自, like a 亲, like me personally taking charge. I'm not dedicating it. I'm handling it myself. And I mean, we all know what's the result of there. It's this zero COVID policy and then 180-degree change. So it's quite some large scale societal experiment simply because the top leader of the country can make such decision. And that's the consequence of, okay, he himself personally take charge of the thing. And we see what's the result that would be. And 亲力亲为 Li means power. It came from the plowing through the soil. So it's like you personally put in your efforts, and wei means you accomplish something. You plowed. So both character actually, you see they almost look the same as well with this two dot. So two dot is the result, the outcome of your powering through. And it's done, right? So it's personally powered, personally done. That's 亲力亲为. 亲密无间 means densely populated forest. When something is mi, it means dense, means close, means you don't have much personal space. Your personal bubble is shrunk to a small scale. So in that sense, you're coming up close with somebody else. So 亲密 means you're physically, probably mentally close with somebody. That's 亲密. 无间 means no gap. There's no gap. I mean, we know it's not true, right? Between individuals, there would be some boundaries, some gap in there. But here we create this expression to idealize that you talk about everything. You, even if you may not see eye to eye on everything, you're going to talk it out. So between yourself, the kind of a level of 亲密 is intimacy, level of how loved you are, how close you are, that as if there is absolutely no gap, like you know each other exactly what you're thinking about. So that's 亲密无间. So here is loved, and that's how Chinese express it. Thank you for your time. See you another